Captain Do-hyun Park stood at the main window of the ESS Horizon, watching the stars stretch endlessly before him. The ship's engines hummed quietly in the background. This was humanity's first deep space mission beyond their known territory, and Do-hyun felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. "Captain, we're picking up something unusual," said Lieutenant Hansol at the radar station. His voice was calm, but his fingers moved quickly across the screen. Multiple ships approaching from Sector 7. Do-hyun walked to the station and looked at the display. The objects were moving in perfect formation. These weren't asteroids or space debris. They were ships, and they were heading straight for the horizon. "How many?" Do-hyun asked. "5 vessels, Captain. Each one is about twice our size." Dr. Hae-jin Kim, the ship's chief xenobiologist, entered the bridge. She had been waiting years for this moment, their first contact with alien life. Her research team had prepared for hundreds of possible scenarios, but nothing could fully prepare them for the real thing. "All stations, yellow alert," Do-hyun ordered. "Dr. Kim, please join me at communications. We need to make a good first impression." The alien ships drew closer. They were dark gray and shaped like arrowheads, with sharp edges that gleamed in the starlight. They moved with precision that spoke of advanced technology and military training. "Open all standard greeting channels," Do-hyun commanded. He straightened his uniform and cleared his throat. "This is Captain Do-hyun Park of the Earth Spaceship Horizon. We come in peace and wish to establish friendly contact." The bridge crew waited in tense silence. Seconds stretched into minutes. Finally, their main screen flickered to life. The image showed a tall, muscular alien with gray-blue skin and prominent bone ridges on its face. Its eyes were deep-set and calculating. "I am High Commander Raltek of the Krilln Empire," the alien spoke in a deep, rumbling voice. Their translation software worked perfectly, converting the alien language in real time. "You have entered our space without permission. Identify your species and home system immediately." The alien commander's eyes narrowed. "Humans, we have no record of your species." Raltek turned to speak with someone off-screen. When he faced them again, his expression was even more serious. "Our scans indicate your ship's hull cannot withstand high-gravity environments. How do such fragile beings dare to venture into space?" Dr. Kim stepped forward. "Commander, if I may explain, our ship is designed for efficiency rather than brute strength. We have other methods of dealing with gravitational forces." "Interesting," Raltek said, though his tone suggested otherwise. "The Krilln Empire rules this sector because we evolved on a high-gravity world. Our strength makes us natural leaders among the softer species. What could your people possibly offer to the galaxy?" Do-hyun noticed Dr. Kim checking her tablet. She looked up with surprise in her eyes. "Captain," she whispered, "according to their public data broadcast, their homeworld has only 1.3 times Earth's gravity. They consider that a harsh environment." Do-hyun kept his expression neutral, but inside he felt a mix of amusement and concern. If the Krilln thought that was challenging, how would they react to learning about Earth? "Commander Raltek," Do-hyun said carefully, "we would be honored to learn more about your people and share information about our own. Perhaps we could arrange a proper meeting." The Krilln commander seemed to consider this. "Very well. You will dock with our main vessel for inspection. We must ensure you are not a threat to the Empire. Be warned, any sign of hostility will be met with immediate destruction." "Understood, Commander. We will follow your docking instructions." After the transmission ended, the bridge crew looked at their captain. Do-hyun turned to Dr. Kim. "Doctor, perhaps we should prepare a simplified version of Earth's environmental data for our first meeting. We wouldn't want to overwhelm our new friends too quickly." Dr. Kim nodded, understanding perfectly. The Krilln prided themselves on being from a harsh world, but Earth was far more challenging. This first contact could quickly become complicated if they weren't careful. "All hands," Do-hyun announced over the ship's system. "Prepare for diplomatic contact. Let's show the galaxy what humanity has to offer, with grace and wisdom. The ESS Horizon moved carefully toward the Krilln vessels, its crew ready to make history. None of them knew it yet, but this meeting would change the galaxy forever. The age of human isolation was about to end, and the universe would never be the same. The docking procedure went smoothly as the ESS Horizon connected with the Krilln flagship. Captain Do-hyun Park led his small team through the airlock. Dr. Hai-Jin Kim walked beside him, carrying her research tablet. Behind them, Ambassador Jae-yun Song and 2 security officers moved carefully in the heavier gravity of the Krilln ship. The first thing they noticed was the thick, dense air. The Krilln atmosphere was heavy, designed for their high-gravity world. But the humans adjusted quickly. Earth's varying atmospheric conditions had prepared them well. High Commander Raltek waited for them in a large meeting chamber. He stood nearly 7 feet tall, his muscular frame towering over the humans. Other Krilln officers watched from the sides of the room, their expressions showing a mix of curiosity and doubt. "Welcome aboard," Raltek said. His voice echoed in the chamber. "I must admit, I'm surprised you handle our gravity so well. Most species require assistance devices." Ambassador Song stepped forward and bowed slightly. "Thank you for your hospitality, Commander. We are honored to be here." Raltek walked around the human group, studying them. "Our scientists are confused by your readings. Your muscles and bone density suggest exposure to significant gravitational forces, yet you claim to be from a standard gravity world." Dr. Kim looked at Captain Park, who nodded. She opened her tablet and displayed some basic information about Earth. "Actually, Commander, Earth's gravity is similar to your world's. We have simply learned to adapt to various conditions." The Krilln scientists in the room moved closer, examining the data. One of them spoke quickly to Raltek in their native language. The commander's expression changed to one of disbelief. "You say your world has regular temperature changes of over 40 degrees, and multiple active tectonic plates. This cannot be accurate." "It is true," Ambassador Song said calmly. "Earth is a dynamic world. Our people have learned to live in many different environments." Raltek's eyes narrowed. "Words are easy. Actions prove worth." He pressed a button on his uniform, and a large screen lit up behind him. "If you are truly as capable as you claim, you will not fear our traditional trials of strength." Captain Park stepped forward. "What kind of trials?" "3 tests," Raltek explained. "First, endurance in our gravity chamber. Second, survival in our environmental simulator. Third, combat against our training machines." He smiled, showing sharp teeth. "No other species has passed these trials. They prove the Krilln are the strongest in the galaxy." The human team exchanged glances. Dr. Kim's data showed that even the Krilln's highest gravity settings would be manageable for well-trained humans. Their environmental challenges would be difficult but not impossible. "We accept your challenge," Captain Park said firmly. "But we have a condition of our own. If we pass your trials, you must agree to peaceful diplomatic relations with Earth." Murmurs spread through the Krilln officers. Raltek raised his hand for silence. "Agreed. But if you fail, you must acknowledge Krilln's superiority and accept our authority in this sector of space." Ambassador Song stepped closer to Park and whispered, "Captain, we should consult with Earth Command before." "No time," Park whispered back. "They're testing our resolve. We need to show strength now." He turned back to Raltek. "We accept your terms. When do we begin?" "Tomorrow," Raltek declared. "Rest well, humans. You will need all your strength." He turned to leave but stopped. "One more thing. To ensure fairness, your environmental suits must remain on your ship. You will face the trials as we do." After the Krilln left, Dr. Kim approached Captain Park. "Their overconfidence is our advantage. They don't realize that what they consider extreme conditions are within human tolerance levels." "True," Park said. "But we shouldn't underestimate them. Their pride is at stake, and that can be dangerous." He looked at his team. "Get some rest. Tomorrow, We show the galaxy what humans can do." As they walked back to their ship, Ambassador Song began planning her diplomatic approach. One way or another, after these trials, the relationship between humans and the Krillin would change forever. The question was, would they end up as allies or enemies? The first trial began early the next day. Captain Do-hyun Park stood in the Krillin gravity chamber, a large round room with metal walls. Dr. Hai-Jin Kim watched from the observation area with Ambassador Jae-yun Song. Several Krillin scientists worked at the control panels. "Beginning at 2 times standard gravity," announced High Commander Raltek. He seemed eager to see the humans fail. Park felt the pressure increase. His body felt heavier, but he remained standing straight. The Krillin observers watched closely, expecting him to struggle. "Increase to 3 times gravity," Raltek ordered. The pressure grew stronger. Park took a few steps forward to show he could still move. A low murmur spread through the watching Krillin. "This is impossible," one of the Krillin scientists said. "No non-Krillin species has ever remained standing at this level." "Increase to 4 times gravity," Raltek commanded. His voice showed his first hint of concern. The pressure was intense now. Park's muscles worked hard, but years of training in Earth's special preparation chambers helped him stay upright. He even managed a small smile. Dr. Kim looked at her readings. "Captain Park's vital signs are stable," she reported. "He can continue." The second trial took place in the environmental chamber. The Krillin created their worst storm conditions. Wind howled and rain poured down. The temperature dropped far below freezing. Park stood in the chamber wearing only his regular uniform. The Krillin expected the extreme cold to overwhelm him quickly. Instead, he seemed barely bothered. "How is this possible?" Raltek demanded. Dr. Kim stepped forward with her data. "Perhaps I should explain. On Earth, we have regions called Siberia where temperatures regularly drop much lower than this. Many humans live there year-round." She showed them more information about Earth. "We also have deserts where temperatures rise far higher than your hottest days. Our world has deep oceans, tall mountains, and everything in between. Humans have learned to live in all these places." The Krillin scientists gathered around her tablet, their expressions showing increasing shock. One of them turned to Raltek, speaking quickly in their language. "Your data suggests Earth is a Class 5 death world." Raltek asked in disbelief. Ambassador Song nodded. "We didn't mention it earlier because we didn't want to cause alarm. Earth is indeed what you would classify as a Class 5 planet." The final trial involved combat robots. The machines were fast and strong, designed to test fighting skills. Park faced them calmly, his movements quick and precise. The Krillin expected him to dodge and run. Instead, Park engaged the robots directly. His reflexes, honed by Earth's higher gravity, made him faster than the machines. He disabled 3 robots before Raltek ordered the trial to stop. "Enough," the High Commander said. His voice was different now, more respectful. "We have seen what we needed to see." Later, in the main meeting chamber, Raltek addressed the human team. "For centuries, we Krillin believed we were unique. We thought our harsh world made us special." He paused, looking at each human in turn. "We were wrong." Dr. Kim shared more data about Earth, its dangerous predators, its extreme weather, its varying gravity fields. The Krillin scientists studied everything with great interest. "Your people are not just survivors," Raltek said. "You come from a world far more challenging than ours. We thought we were the only Deathworlders in the galaxy. Instead, we find ourselves humbled." Ambassador Song stepped forward. "This can be a beginning, not an ending. Imagine what our peoples could accomplish together." As the humans and Krillin began serious discussions, Captain Park watched quietly. The trials had done more than prove human strength. They had opened the door to understanding between 2 species of survivors. But in the back of his mind, he wondered how the rest of the galaxy would react when they learned about humanity's true nature. News spread quickly through the Galactic Council. Earth was not just another world. It was a Class 5 death world. The council chamber buzzed with worried conversations as Ambassador Jai Yun-song prepared to address the gathered representatives. Admiral Ta Wan-li watched from Earth's newly assigned section. He had arrived with reinforcements after receiving word about the successful trials. The admiral knew that today's meeting would shape humanity's future in space. High Commander Raltek stood before the council first. The Krilln Empire must speak truth. We have found beings stronger than ourselves. The humans come from a world that makes our home seem gentle. The chamber erupted in chaos. Many species had lived under Krilln protection, believing them to be the strongest warriors in known space. Now that belief was crumbling. A tall, thin alien stood up. This is outrageous. No species from a Class 5 world could achieve spaceflight. They would be too aggressive, too violent to build the civilization. Ambassador Song walked to the center of the chamber. Her voice was calm but firm. Yet here we stand. Earth has had spaceflight for over a century. We have built cities, created art, and advanced science. We are living proof that adaptation does not equal savagery. Dr. Neri Choi, who had arrived with Admiral Lee, displayed images of Earth's cities, universities, and peaceful gatherings. Then she showed data about Earth's environment. The council members watched in stunned silence. "Impossible," someone whispered. "They have oceans that can swallow cities, storms that can flatten buildings, predators that hunt in packs. How do they survive?" "We adapt," Song explained. "We learn. We work together. These challenges have made us stronger, but they have also taught us the value of cooperation." A group of Krilln warriors entered the chamber. Their leader spoke loudly. "The Krilln cannot accept this. We should destroy Earth before humans become too powerful. They are a threat to the natural order." Admiral Lee stepped forward, his hand raised for peace. "We do not seek war. But know this, Earth has faced threats before. We have survived ice ages, massive storms, and creatures you cannot imagine. We would prefer friendship, but we do not fear conflict." The council leader called for order. "This matter requires careful thought. Humans have proven their strength through the Krilln trials, but they have also shown wisdom by seeking peace. We must decide how to proceed." High Commander Raltek surprised everyone by walking to stand beside Ambassador Song. "The Krilln Empire supports Earth's membership in the Council. We have seen their power, yes, but we have also seen their honor. They could have hidden their true nature. Instead, they offered truth and friendship." The chamber grew quiet as the council leader spoke again. "We will vote on two matters. First, Earth's membership in the Council. Second, how to respond to those who call for war." Admiral Lee watched the proceedings carefully. On his tablet, he reviewed defense plans for Earth and its colonies. He hoped they wouldn't be needed, but humans had learned to always be prepared. Ambassador Song spoke one last time. "We offer you our strength, our knowledge, and our friendship. Earth may be a death world, but it has taught us more than just survival. It has taught us to reach for the stars while keeping our feet on the ground." As the council prepared to vote, Dr. Choi noticed something interesting in her data. Other worlds showed signs of developing life that could survive extreme conditions. Perhaps humans and Krilln were not alone after all. The galaxy might hold more surprises for everyone. Dr. Hai-Jin Kim stood in the new Joint Research Laboratory, examining cells under a powerful microscope. Next to her, a Krilln scientist named Maktor watched the display screen with great interest. They had been working together for several weeks now, studying how both species had adapted to their harsh homeworlds. "Look at this," Dr. Kim said, pointing to the screen. "Your muscle cells have extra fibers, just like ours. We developed the same solution to handle high gravity, but in slightly different ways." Maktor nodded, making notes on his tablet. "And both our species have similar bone structures. Nature found the same answers on two different worlds." Captain Do-hyun Park entered the laboratory with High Commander Raltek. The two leaders had developed a strong working relationship since the trials. They now met regularly to share experiences and knowledge. "How goes the research?" Park asked, looking at the complex displays around the room. Dr. Kim smiled. "We've made an amazing discovery. Humans and Krillin share many similar traits. Our hearts are stronger than other species. Our bones are denser. Our reflexes are faster. But the most interesting part is how we got these traits." She brought up a large display showing DNA patterns from both species. Life on both our worlds faced similar challenges: high gravity, extreme temperatures, dangerous predators. Over millions of years, we both found similar ways to survive. "This proves we are truly alike," Raltek said, studying the display. "Our ancestors faced the same tests of survival." Park walked closer to examine the data. "Have you found these patterns in other species?" "No," Maktor answered. "Most life in the galaxy evolved on safer worlds. Their bodies never needed to develop these features." He paused, checking his notes. "Although we have found hints that there might be other Deathworld species out there, still undiscovered." Dr. Kim brought up a map of the galaxy. "We've identified several planets with conditions similar to Earth and the Krillin homeworld. If life exists there, it might have developed along similar lines." "Then we are not alone," Raltek said thoughtfully. "There could be other species who understand what it means to evolve in harsh conditions." Park looked at the map with interest. "Perhaps that's why our peoples connected so quickly. We understand something that others don't: the cost and reward of surviving on a death world." The research team continued their work throughout the day. They discovered more similarities between humans and Krillin. Their strong immune systems, their ability to heal quickly, their enhanced senses. Each discovery showed how their harsh worlds had shaped them. "There's something else," Dr. Kim said later, showing her latest findings. "Both our species developed strong social bonds. We learned to work together to survive. The challenges of our worlds didn't make us violent. They taught us the importance of cooperation." Raltek placed a hand on Park's shoulder, a gesture of friendship he had learned from humans. "This is why we must stand together now. We can help other species understand that strength does not have to mean aggression." As they talked, Dr. Kim's computer beeped with new data. She studied it closely, her eyes widening. "Captain, Commander, I think we found something. There's a pattern in the galaxy's unexplored regions, more death worlds than we thought possible, and some of them show signs of advanced civilization." Park and Raltek looked at each other. Their partnership had already changed the galaxy's political balance. Now it seemed they might not be as unique as everyone thought. The question was, were these other potential Deathworld species friends or foes? The attack came without warning. Admiral Tadeuan Lee was reviewing defense reports when the emergency alarms sounded throughout Earth Space Command. Multiple Krillin warships had appeared near Earth's outer colonies. "Status report," Lee commanded, entering the control center. The large screen showed red warning signals across several sectors. 6 Krillin battleships approaching the Mars colony, Admiral, his officer reported. "They're not responding to communications. High Commander Raltek confirms these are rebel forces acting against his orders." On the ESS Horizon, Captain Do-hyun Park received the emergency transmission. His ship was the closest to the rebel fleet. "All hands to battle stations," he ordered. "Dr. Kim, what do your scans show?" Dr. Hai-Jin Kim studied her instruments. "The rebel ships are running their life support at maximum strength. They've increased their artificial gravity to 3 times normal. They think this will give them an advantage." Park smiled slightly. "They forgot what we learned in the trials. Higher gravity makes us stronger, not weaker." He opened a channel to all decks. "All personnel, prepare for high-gravity combat operations." The Horizon moved to intercept the rebel fleet. The enemy ships fired their first shots, expecting to cripple the human vessel quickly. Instead, the Horizon performed impossibly tight maneuvers, dodging most of the attacks. Inside the Horizon, the increased gravity made movement difficult. But the human crew, trained on Earth's varying gravity fields, adapted quickly. They moved with purpose, operating their stations with practiced skill. Their ships are designed for straight attacks, Park observed. They depend on brute force. Show them how humans fight. He ordered a series of complex maneuvers that no normal ship should have been able to perform under such high gravity. The rebel Krillin watched in confusion as the horizon wove between their ships. The human vessel was smaller but moved like a fighter in atmosphere, not a deep spaceship. Their targeting systems couldn't keep up. "Admiral," Park reported to Earth Command, "we've discovered a weakness." The rebel ships sacrificed engine cooling to power their gravity systems. They can't maintain this level of operation for long. Admiral Lee's voice came through clearly. "Understood, Captain. Reinforcements are on the way. Hold them as long as you can." The battle continued. The Horizon's crew showed their true capabilities. Hours passed, and while the rebel ships began to slow, the humans maintained their performance. Their bodies, evolved to handle Earth's challenges, proved more durable than the Krillin expected. High Commander Raltek, watching from his command ship as he raced to assist, sent a message to all forces: "Observe the humans carefully. They do not tire. They do not slow. This is why Earth is called a death world. Its people have learned to endure." The rebel commander, growing desperate, ordered his ships to surround the horizon. "These humans must be destroyed," he transmitted. "They will upset the balance of power. The galaxy must remain as it has always been." Dr. Kim detected something concerning. "Captain, they're overloading their gravity generators. They plan to create a gravity well to crush us." Park remained calm. "They still don't understand. Humans don't break under pressure. We adapt." He looked at his crew, seeing determination in their eyes. "Show them what Earth has taught us about surviving impossible situations." The Horizon's engines flared as it prepared to demonstrate why humans were the galaxy's ultimate survivors. The ESS Horizon faced the rebel fleet's gravity attack. Captain Do-hyun Park watched as the enemy ships powered up their generators to maximum. The space around his ship began to distort as artificial gravity increased to crushing levels. "Hull pressure rising," reported the engineering officer. 5 times Earth normal gravity and climbing. Dr. Hai-Jin Kim studied her readings carefully. "Captain, the rebel ships are burning out their systems to maintain this attack. They expect us to be crushed before their generators fail." Park nodded calmly. "Exactly what we want them to think." He opened a channel to all decks. "All hands, activate Emergency Protocol Earth 7. The Horizon's crew had trained for this. On Earth, they had special facilities that simulated extreme gravity conditions. Many crew members came from high-gravity regions of Earth. What the rebels saw as a death trap, they saw as a challenge to overcome. "Gravity now at 7 times normal," engineering reported. The rebel ships pressed their attack, certain of victory. Then something unexpected happened. The Horizon's engines fired. The ship began to move, fighting against the crushing gravity. The rebel commanders watched in disbelief as the human vessel slowly turned to face them. "Impossible," the rebel leader transmitted. "No ship can move in these conditions." "You're right," Park responded. "No normal ship can. But we're from Earth. We build things differently there." He turned to his weapons officer. "Show them why." The Horizon fired its main weapons. The shots were perfectly accurate, despite the gravitational distortion. The rebel ships, having used all their power for the gravity attack, couldn't dodge. High Commander Raltek arrived with loyal Krillin forces just in time to see the rebel fleet's generators fail. Their ships drifted powerless in space as the Horizon moved to secure them. "Remarkable," Raltek transmitted to Park. "You turned their strongest attack into their weakness. A true Death Worlder strategy." After the rebels were captured, Ambassador Jae-yun Song met with the Galactic Council. The council chamber was different now. Where once there had been fear of humans, there was now respect. "The rebel attack has failed," Song announced. "But more importantly, we have shown that humans and Krillin can work together. Our differences make us stronger, not weaker. High Commander Raltek stood beside her. The Krilln Empire formally requests a permanent alliance with Earth. Together, we can protect peace in the galaxy and help other species understand strength does not mean conquest. Admiral Ta Wan Li presented the military agreement. Earth and the Krilln Empire would share defense responsibilities. Their ships would patrol together, combining Krilln power with human adaptability. Dr. Kim and her Krilln colleagues shared their latest research. We found evidence of other Deathworld species preparing to reach space, she explained. When they do, they will find not conflict, but understanding. We know what it means to evolve in harsh conditions. We can help them join galactic society peacefully. The Council voted unanimously to approve the alliance. As the ceremony ended, Captain Park and Commander Raltek walked together through the Council station. "Your ship surprised everyone today," Raltek said. "But what impressed me most was not your strength. It was your restraint. You could have destroyed the rebel ships, but you chose to disable them instead." Park smiled. "That's another lesson Earth taught us. True strength isn't about destroying challenges. It's about overcoming them and growing stronger together." 1 year after the rebel attack, the galaxy had changed dramatically. Captain Do-hyun Park stood on the bridge of a new ship, the ESS Unity. This vessel was special. It had been built by both humans and Krilln working together. It combined Earth's adaptable design with Krilln power systems. Dr. Hai-Jin Kim worked in her new laboratory aboard the Unity. The space was filled with advanced equipment from both worlds. She and her Krilln colleagues had made remarkable discoveries about life on harsh planets. "Captain," she called to Park, "we're receiving signals from the third planet in this system. The readings match our predictions for a Deathworld civilization." Park looked at his co-commander, High Commander Raltek, who now shared leadership of this mission. "Should we make contact?" Park asked. Raltek nodded. "Yes, but carefully. We remember how our first meeting almost led to conflict. This time, we can do better." The Unity approached the planet carefully. Their scans showed a civilization just beginning to reach for the stars. The planet's gravity was even stronger than Earth's, and its atmosphere contained high levels of volcanic gases. "They're detecting us," reported the sensor officer. "They're launching their first space vessels to investigate." Park and Raltek prepared their greeting message together. They had learned from experience how to approach new Deathworld species. The message would be sent in multiple formats, showing both strength and peaceful intentions. On Earth, Admiral Ta Wan Li and Ambassador Jae-yun Song watched the contact mission from the new Joint Space Command Center. The facility housed both human and Krilln staff, working together to monitor galaxy-wide operations. The Unity reports successful first contact, Li announced to the gathered officials. The new species calls themselves the Vidari. Their world has shaped them just as Earth and Krilln shaped us. Ambassador Song smiled. "This is why we created the Deathworld Integration Program. Every harsh world teaches different lessons. Together, we learn more than we ever could alone." Back on the Unity, Dr. Kim shared her findings with the crew. The Vidari have developed amazing heat-resistant technologies. Their volcanic world forced them to adapt in ways neither humans nor Krilln imagined. Park watched as the first Vidari ship docked with the Unity. Unlike the tension of his first meeting with the Krilln, this encounter began with mutual respect and understanding. Both sides recognized each other as survivors of harsh worlds. "Welcome to the galactic community," Park said as the Vidari leaders entered the Unity's conference room. "We have much to learn from each other." The Vidari were surprised to find species who understood their struggles. Their world had made them strong, but it had also taught them the value of working together. Just like humans and Krilln, they had learned that survival meant cooperation, not conflict. Admiral Li received the final report from the Unity with satisfaction. The galaxy was changing. Where once there had been fear of Deathworlders, now there was appreciation for their unique strengths and perspectives. "This is just the beginning," he told his staff. Our scans show at least 12 more potential Death World civilizations approaching space travel capability. Each one will bring new knowledge, new abilities, and new ways of thinking. Ambassador Song added, and each one will find not fear or suspicion, but understanding and friendship. We are building something unprecedented. A coalition of survivors working together to create a better galaxy for all species. As the Unity prepared to visit the next potential Death World, Captain Park looked at his diverse crew, humans, Krillin, and now Vidari working side by side. They had proved that the harshest worlds could produce not just strong bodies, but strong hearts and minds as well.